Yeah. So Sophia and Connor, I know you guys are kind of starting out with what you're doing, but did it give you a little clarity on like, hey, this is who I serve. This is the content I need to be posting to attract them. Did that kind of help for you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um.
Hey Ray, real quick
Yeah.
question. Could we, moving forward, could we use just pin the Zoom link in the announcements so it's the same, so it's just the same one that's easy to find?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay, awesome.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. So yeah, I just want you guys to be clear on that because today we're gonna be going over content. So based on the avatar and the audience that you want to serve, we're gonna be creating content around that so that you can start booking calls and getting people interested in your services and what you have. Okay, and so um cool. So let me see. Let's see. So any questions before we move on? Like you guys did the homework, so do you guys have any questions? Let's share. Let's start off with some wins. So what were your guys' wins since last week? What were some of your guys' wins? Let's share in the group. So what's up, Joe? I think you still have. I mean, I think Joe already knows his avatar, but let's share some wins. From last week. You guys have done your bio, right? Everyone's done their bio. Okay.
Yep.
You and me did the bio together.
Yeah, no, I did the bio with you, Joe. So let's just hear some wins because I want to start off, calls with wins. So what are some wins for you guys this week, for Instagram and for just in general? Because we could start off with that and then we'll get into the content. Um, as far as what we learned so far. So
I'll go first.
sure.
Um, for me, one win in terms of just the homework is it just has allowed for a lot more clarity of what it is I'm wanting to do and who I'm wanting to target.
Sure.
And even noticing that I was aiming at two different, it led me realize that I'm aiming at two different audiences and using two different tactics instead of just focusing on one in particular and going after that crew.
Okay, so you got clarity on like who is it I'm gonna serve and
Yeah.
content to create for that. Okay, so what were the two and would you narrow it down to?
There's the military enthusiast that there's a lot of those in this niche that will buy the product.
Yeah,
And I had initially been marketing towards them,
sure.
but the people I'm wanting to go for who are more either active service folk or veterans
Yeah,
is who I'm wanting to tailor it towards. And I'm going to have to shift some of my language and some of how I promote my material so
yeah.
I can better serve them.
Okay, dope. So your bio reflects that? You changed up your bio stuff?
It does. I still have to put in a free offer, which I'll have to create, but I've got stuff that better reflects that. Yes.
Okay, cool. This is so interesting. I think Connor, Joe, and Zach, you guys are all kind of in the military space. Like Joe knows vets. And Zach, I think later on he could probably introduce you to some people who might want your coaching for like how to get back to a civilian mindset. And so it's interesting how you guys are all in the military space and you guys can probably network and help each other out. Cool. Anyone else want to go for wins?
I'm not really in the military space. I just, as a marketer, I identify groups, so I know people that are in groups. So, win for me is had $1,000 come in today. That's always a good way to start the day. And
$1,000? Nice.
$1,000. It's a nice day.
It's not bad. 1,000 a day makes the sick. I don't know. Makes the debt
I
go
say
away.
the best antidepressant medication is a positive cash flow.
Oh yeah.
Gives me
Wait, what was that?
that endorphin rush every day. I said the best antidepressant medication is a positive cash flow.
Yeah, right. Who needs yeah, true. Who needs pills when you can make money? Well, that's way better than taking pills for sure. For that fake high. But Cool. Who else wants to go for their win?
Hmm.
Another win for me is had 15 discovery calls this week.
Damn,
What are
15.
those?
Yeah, what are those? Connor's asking.
Oh, there are people that have gone to my schedule page because they were interested in having a conversation with me, and several of those will turn into business down the road.
That's awesome. Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome. And
So I
so,
guess mine kind of similar. My calendar's packed. I have 7 calls tomorrow alone. I've been jam packing my calendar full of calls.
sure. And is this for your coaching business or?
Yep.
Okay, nice. So you're already getting calls to book into your coaching business.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any you close so far?
No, not yet. These are all filtering in from LinkedIn using a friend of mine does lead gen. So his company's sending LinkedIn people to me. But no, I am still refining my sales closing process.
Yeah, let me know if you need support with that. I know you have people helping you, but just if you need support and I think Joe's good at closing too, so that should help as well. So awesome. Okay, cool. So you got 7 calls booked and you wanted to book it out to I think 12 people or something, right? Or what you're doing?
Say that again.
How many people did you want in your coaching business?
Initially, probably 10 one-on-one clients plus a group of maybe 20 or so.
A group, okay. So you want 10 one-on-one or 10 of 10 groups of
10, excuse me, 10. So I want 10 one-on-one clients at a time, and then a group of about 20 people or so, maybe more.
So you could handle 10 one-on-ones and a group of 20, all of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Dope. And what's your price point for charging those people?
So my one-on-one is going to be 3 to 5K for an 8-week program. 3K right now, 5K when I get a little bit more confident asking that. Then the one-on-one, the group will be $497 a month.
Okay, $497 a month for how long?
Probably kind of indefinite, as long as they want to. I mean, the idea would be to create, retain clients in theory, and create a group where people, can keep working through stuff and they can leave whenever. There'd probably be a minimum requirement.
Yeah, minimum requirement, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Anyone else? Sophia, want to share your win and Penny after? I think you're muted.
Can't hear you.
You cannot hear. Let's see. That's weird. It says we could hear you, but can you try speaking, Sophia? You can see.
What is your input volume at for your microphone? Can you check your settings?
Yeah, it's your input. Yeah.
If you're on a Mac, it will be in your under zoom.us and then preferences.
Yeah.
Top left corner.
Penny, you want to go in the meantime? Or can you speak, Penny? I think she might be. If you could chat, just type in the chat so we get everyone's. Yeah, Sophia, it's not working for your audio. That's weird because it worked last week, so I don't know what's going on with that. Let me see.
Maybe grab your headphones, plug them into your computer, see if you can speak through that, and then disconnect it and see if it resets your audio settings.
You could try leaving and calling again. Yeah, sure.
That works too.
yeah, so we'll wait for that. And thank you guys for your patience. We want everyone to go because this is a team effort, and we're all here to support each other. So some of you might be like, man, this take like I'm a very not impatient guy, but I like things going quick. But we want to make sure everyone's winning here together, and so bear with us as we you know see where everyone's at, so we
Can
can
you
all.
hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you now.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
So for me, I haven't had any wins this week. I'm still trying to figure out what my pricing and packaging is, so I'm kind of at a standstill with that. I've been researching, but I haven't found any like definite answers, so I'm still trying to figure that out. So I'm kind of on a standstill.
For your pricing, so what's
So
um
I'm still trying to figure out like all of my services. Like I want to focus mainly on Facebook and Instagram.
yeah.
I'm trying to like figure out how I'm gonna price it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, a
That's
good.
something like more advanced that would probably take more time than this meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you want to chat one on one, we can later, or stuff
Okay.
like that.
Yeah,
And,
because I don't want to take up too much of the
yeah,
time.
sure,
Yes.
sure. And then Penny, what was your win? If you can't speak, just write it in the group. So we're like, okay. Penny, you there?
We'll just play Jeopardy music.
Um,
I started a trigger.
Yeah, that's cool. And she is not responding. I guess hopefully she's listening. Just want to make. I don't want to. Okay. Let me message her. If she's still not replying, I'm gonna just start without her. Do you hear us? Cool. So I texted her. If she does, it's okay. We'll just wait till it responds. But let's get started with this. So you guys all see my screen, and so yeah, let's get started with this. Cool. So everyone mute themselves. Obviously, you guys can ask at the end because I'm gonna be recording these and stuff. Cool. So the first week we went over your vision and avatar, and that's really important because if you're not clear on who you're serving and who you want to target, you're just gonna be posting random stuff about you, your dog, your food, and it's just like people don't care about that. So you got to think about it's not about you, it's about who you're serving, and it's about your clients and your potential clients and people who want to buy your products and services, and what do you have to give me, right? People don't care about you, they care about what you can give to them. And so that sounds a little harsh, but that's true. It's like like, what do you have that is worth my time to listen to you and to give you my money for? And you got to make that clear right away from your bio to your content. And so the first week was, who's your avatar, who's your audience, because from there you could speak into their pain points and into what they want, so that they'll schedule a call with you, or so that they will know that you're the authority and know that you're the person to go to for X, Y, and Z problem that they have, right? And so yeah, so week 2 is content and creation. And some of you guys are really clear on your avatar, but the content is not pulling them in, right? And so that's something we're going to talk about. And so content is king. um, you know Now that you know your vision and avatar, you need to create content that will speak to your ideal client and audience. If you're coaching businessmen how to take their coaching online, speak to the pain points and things that would like to be solved that you can help with it. And I know some of you are not coaches. Connor wants to sell products like Legos, but even people who buy it, there's a reason why they're buying it. Is it because it gives them fun, because it helps them with something, right? Whether it's for entertainment, pleasure, or they're running away from pain. There's things that they're buying from you because they see value in that. And so that's the content that you're going to create to speak to those pain points, and things that they're paying you money for, right? And so there's four types of content on Instagram: educational, entertaining, inspiring, personal. And if your content isn't doing any of those, then it's just, there's no point. I mean, it's like, what are you posting it for? Are you just posting it, just to post, or is there a purpose behind it, right? And I asked you guys this on the Monday call. Ask yourself, if this wasn't my account, would I want to follow it? Why or why not? And so this is something that you can write down, now as I'm going over this, or just, hopefully you guys went over that after Monday. Like, oh, would I want to follow it, and why or why not, right? And so if you kind of go back to it, I'm gonna talk about the importance of sharing your story as well. So, no one, there's probably a lot of people who want to do what you're doing, or are doing it, but you get to share your story, and that's what's gonna make you stand out. So you get to share your story and be vulnerable with your audience. Let people know through your stories or your posts what challenges you've overcome, how you can help them today with what you've gone through. And so, there's things that I've posted about social anxiety. There's things that I've posted about things like, not really knowing what I'm doing with my life, but just kind of taking things step by step to creating this business of helping personal brands grow. And so whatever your story is, for how you got to where you are, you want to start posting that either through your content, through your stories. I know Zach has done that in stories. I think Zach did like 8 or like several slides of it, but instead of that being on your feed, you could do it on your stories and save that as a story highlight. So people, potential clients, you won't have to tell your story over and over. People will just check your highlight and be like, okay, this is Zach, this is his story, and I resonate with that, right? And this is something my mentor Nicholas Bailey told me. He said, um, you know, what's it called? It's stories sell and facts tell. People will buy from you because they relate with you, not just because you have the right information, right? And so, your story is a very powerful part of selling. And a lot of people who sell on stage actually use this method of sharing their story because it resonates with people, and people that they can relate to. People buy from who they know, like, and trust. And so if you can build that trust with people through your story, that's great. I think Connor's a little more difficult because he's selling just a product. But for those who are into coaching and things like that, that's very helpful. But even if you just share your story as like, hey, like, I was working 9 to 5, now I'm building my vision of building, these products to give people joy and things like that. That's way more personal than, hey, here's a Lego product, buy it, and people buy from, if you look at the big companies in the world, they have a story and a mission behind it. If you're just another company selling a product without a story or a mission, then it's just what makes you different from anyone else, right? And so your story is going to be a big part of what makes you stand out, and why people buy from you, because they can relate to you, And so so create
Hey,
content.
Ray, are you sharing slides? Because I don't see them.
Yes, I'm sharing slides. Do people see it? Do you guys see it? Do you guys see my slides?
We had no clue you were sharing slides.
Oh, let me see.
I mean, you're good at talking about it though.
Oh, well, you guys just looking at my face? What? Let me see.
Yep.
Let me see. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. That's so bad. Okay, let me see.
Don't worry, you didn't do anything embarrassing.
Dang. Okay. Then wow. Okay. Well. Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, basically content creation. I'm gonna have to redo this. So content is king. Um, I'll just go over to where I was, and then I guess I can redo this and share that with you. Um, and so yeah, so like, let me see. Um, yeah, so share. You guys can see it now, right? My slides. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Man, I'm just thinking, like, should I just read? It's cool. So okay, so from your story, you know that people from your stories, they're gonna know more about you, and things that you can't post all the time on your feed, Maybe there's something you want them to know, whether it's like a testimonial or like some results that you've gone for people, but you don't want to post it, on your feed. That's perfect to post on there. Let me see. Dang, I wish I freaking recorded it. Now I'm gonna have to go back and do it.
What if you just shared the slides with us after and then continue from where you were?
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah. Cool. So wait, let me just take from the top because I'm gonna be recording these, and so I'll go through real quick to the story part because yeah, I think I'm taking too long. So okay, so week 2 is on content and creation, and like I said in the first week, we went over your avatar and your audience. Based on the avatar and audience, you're gonna create content to speak to them, and everything that your content is about should speak to your ideal client. The person who's gonna buy from you. And so there's 4 types of content on Instagram: educational, entertaining, inspiring, and personal. You want to make sure that each post has a purpose behind it. Don't just post pictures of yourself or selfies with you and your dog and you and your food. No one cares about that. They only care about the value you have to give to them. So make sure that you're posting things that are giving value, that speak to their pain, so that they're gonna be like, who is this guy? How can he help me? And let me book a call with him, or let me check out his website, right? And ask yourself, if this wasn't my page, would I want to follow it? Why or why not? You also want to share your story, and be vulnerable with your audience, because they're gonna, people buy from people. If you share your story of how you overcame, poverty to build this agency, or how you overcame social anxiety or PTSD to, be able to have a normal social life, that's what's going to resonate with people, and people buy from people. Like, facts tell and stories sell. So the more you tell stories around what you're doing, how you overcame your problems, people will be more likely to buy from you. um, and like I said, create content around the problem that you solve, the ways that you can help people. Think of these 3 things: pain, problem, and solution. What's the pain you're solving? What's the problem that they have, and what's the solution that you could give them? And find inspiration. Find people who are inspiring you. Find people whose content that you like. Observe and notice, how are they posting, right? And research 5 to 10 influencers in your niche that you would like to emulate, and start creating content like that. And I'll share with you guys some examples of how to do that, and we'll go over ways to do that. Creating content. There's several ways you can start to create content, such as using canva.com for graphics, Fonto, which is for text, InShot, which is an app on your Instagram that you could use, to format IGTVs and videos. Like if you look at my Instagram, I use content like that. And think about ways that you can capture attention through the information, um, that you're able to create for your potential clients, right? I shared on our Monday call that, you could present the same information, but the way that you present it can capture their attention. It's the same content, but the way that you present it on Instagram visually, um, and aesthetically is going to really affect whether they're going to stop to look at that or not, right? That's why, thumbnails, example, for videos are so important, because it's just, everything needs a hook. And in our culture where everything's so fast and you're just scrolling through Instagram, if you wouldn't scroll and stop and look at your post, then you got to ask yourself, how can I make this so that I would scroll and stop? And if you're like, I don't know how to do that, just look at people on Instagram that you look at on Explore, or people's that are your, people that you look up to, or that inspire you, and be like, what about this post made me want to stop and look at it? Was it because it had like a black background and just a white text, because it's that simple? Like I make stuff like that using Fonto. Is it because this video had text on it on the top, and a video, and that text caught my attention? So think about yourself and think about what catches my eye on Instagram, and how can I create content that is like that, to get other people's attention. Because it's a game of attention, right? Social media, and what you're doing, it's all a matter of attention, and people's attention spans are like that. I think it's like 3 to 5 seconds now. We're just like, I think Joe said this best. We're like crack crazed monkeys looking for a banana, and so there's so many, ugly looking bananas. How can you make yours the good looking one, right? And so how do you attract those, those people who would, want to look, who are looking for what you have, but how do you capture their attention, through the way that you present your content. And so,
Ray, there's
yeah,
a couple stats that are really important. These stats really apply to a website, a little bit less to Instagram, but two numbers, 7 seconds and 92%. So when somebody goes to a website, they're typically gone in 7 seconds. Okay, and
yeah,
so if your website isn't sticky, and so it's a little bit different for Instagram, but 7 seconds when people go to a website, 7 seconds, and then poof, they're gone. The other statistic is when people do go to your website, 92%, 92% of the people that visit your website will never, ever, ever visit your website ever again.
oh,
So
okay,
so what we need to be aware of is we have a very short time to capture attention, and if we do capture attention, then we need to do something to, number one, make our site or whatever they're seeing on our Instagram or on our website. We need to make it sticky so they stick around longer, and we also need to get them to fill out a form or take some kind of action so that we can invite them back. So 7 seconds and 92%.
okay, cool. Um, Cool. So aside from that, so yeah, these are things you think about, and obviously, you guys, we're gonna work this week on creating the content and trying to attract the ideal audience to your content. Um, because I'm sure there's people that follow you that would want to buy what you have. It's just a matter of putting it out there where they could see that. And so share what you're knowledgeable about, have overcome, you can help people with, and share your knowledge. When people come to your Instagram account, they need to know what you're about, what you have to offer, how you can help them. And this isn't something, like I said, you just post selfies about or things about yourself, and people who, because they're not going to have any interest in that, right? Build your personal brand around your value, not just your looks or what you had for breakfast. Because, obviously, if you look at all the hot Instagram models, like the people they're attracting are just, thirsty old men and just, people who really might not even be their customers, right? But the people you want to attract to your page are people who are, potential clients who could, transact with you, give you money, not just, have a nice number to your account, but actually do business with you, and that you're attracting, valuable people to your page, to your content. And so, and then impact, think about the lives you want to impact, how the content you're posting will affect those who are watching. You're an influencer, whether you have just 10 followers or 100,000, and each life is a life that you can influence. So no matter if you get 10 likes or 10,000 likes, remember that a person is a person. And if you get to even influence one person during their day, like that means a lot. Because we're so caught up with the numbers, we're just like, man, like I only got 5 likes today or 10 likes. Well, if just one of those people, convert as a client to like a $3,000 paying, program, or maybe a $20 product, it's just, that's priceless, And so, think about that, and don't be too concerned on the numbers yet. Focus on the quality of your page and the content before that, and so focus on the vision, or where you want to go, instead of just looking at the numbers all the time, right? When I started my page, I could have been like, hey, I'm just starting from zero, and 전화하고 있어요, 어머니. Yeah. I could have been like, hey, like, and been discouraged. But for you guys, don't be discouraged, because you guys are, make sure your vision is greater than the obstacles in front of you. And that's what's going to guide you to keep posting and to keep putting content out there, utilizing stories. So like I said, story highlights are something that you can use to highlight your accomplishments, achievements, and other things that you might not want to post about on your feed, but you could save it as a highlight. And you could go back to your archives. Instagram saves all of your stories, and you could save all of your archives, start highlighting moments that were significant to you, or so people know what it is you have to offer. And make a story highlight of your background, your achievements, your story, testimonials, if you have any, anything that you are like, wow, I want people to know this, but I can't, contain it in one post. Then make stories around it, and then save it as a story highlight so people know that. And the cool thing about story highlight is that's something that people can, like, new followers will always see that. And so that's like a highlight of like what you want people to know and see, so that they could continue to know about you without you having to post the same thing, over and over. So
Ray, I'm not getting what you're saying. At some point, will you actually demonstrate how to create a story and how to create a story highlight? Because, I mean, you're talking about things and I kind of know they exist, but I don't know how to create them. I don't know how to navigate through that. Will you actually walk us through that at some point
yeah,
here?
yeah. So you don't even know what a story is, Joe? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I know what one is when I see one. It's like those little circles at the top of the page, but it's a little cryptical about how to like create the story and how to put things in the story.
Yeah, I'll make a training video on it, but basically, yeah, I'll create a video on it, but it's super simple. Um, yeah, and so basically, the things that you're like, yeah, I want people to know this about me. Think about that as like a story highlight that you can make, and that's something that can is fairly simple. Yeah. um, so how does a personal story apply to a business that is not a personal brand? So, people love to see, even if it's not a personal brand, people love to see, the behind the scenes of how do you make this, or the behind the scenes of the founder, right? And so there's always things that you could put as a story highlight that even if it's not your product, it's showing people, like the story of your business. What's the story of your company? What's the behind the scenes of your company? What's like the mission behind it? And then people can understand more about your business and your company through your story highlight, rather than you having to post about it and getting it pushed down the feed. You know what I mean? A story highlight is something that you want people to know about you, and it's kind of evergreen, right? Like whoever comes on will see it, and no matter if they're new or old, they'll be like, okay, well, I know, you know, this is what, Zach's story is about because it's on his highlight. Or I know, the results that Joe's gone because I see a testimonial story highlight on it. And so that's an example. And I'll make a video so you guys know what that looks like.
Yeah. Do you have a strategy for mapping out? Like, I know a story is like a sequence of either images or videos. Do you have a strategy for mapping out like how to create a kick-ass story inside?
Yeah, so I'll make a training video so you
Cool.
could see what that looks like. Okay. And then purpose and motive, right? Whatever your purpose is for your Instagram, you need to make sure that the content you present will clearly show the value you have to offer. Each post should have the incentive to educate, entertain, inspire, or share something about yourself. So people want to read your post. And your post should have a call to action, getting people to either book a call with you, get their emails, or get them to become a warm lead for you. Every post that you're posting is it's like you're warming them up to be a potential client, right? If they're not already your client, because every post is like showing people what you're about, what you have to offer, and things like that. And so yeah, now I want to go into high converting captions. So these are some strategies you can implement for your content that you know I will go into. So, and I'm going to share this in the resource section. So this is captions. Let's see. These are some caption strategies that you can implement onto your Instagram. Caption strategy. So a high converting caption, this is an example, a counterintuitive statement, right? What most coaches teach don't work, right? So people are like, okay, then this guy must know something that other coaches don't know. So whether you're a coach or whatever you're selling, think of what's a counterintuitive statement that can get people to be like, hey, like it's like a hook, right? Every high converting caption needs a hook. So you could start with that. What most coaches don't teach about, you know, uh, what it takes to for example, for vets, right? What most vets don't learn after they finish their time in the military is blank, or something like that. And then, or you could do a question of some of their biggest pain points or their goals that they want to achieve, right? Are you afraid to niche down because you're afraid it will hurt your business? What's the pain point that your client has that you could put in the caption so that it grabs your attention? Because the pain point, people will run away from pain more than towards pleasure, right? So whatever your client's pain is, tell them, hey, are you not getting sales because you don't know how to use Instagram? Are you not you know basically getting clients because you don't know how to use Facebook and Instagram marketing? whatever that pain is that you're solving, that's something you could write in your caption. And then an attention grabbing title to be of interest to them, like how to get ABC results in 3 easy steps, right? That's an example. And so these are some of the things that people like to read about. These are some ideas for your content that you can make, whether they're myths, mistakes, limiting beliefs, um, inspiration, hot tips, social proof. All these things are things that you could create content around. I know for Connor, since it's a product, it's maybe for you, it'll be just more visual content, like of the Legos and products. But these are strategy. It's just psychology, right? And how you write your caption will get people to engage with you. And so you could do carousels for a hook, and then a call to action. Swipe to learn about. You could have a swipe thing for your carousel. And yeah, so this is an example. Long form captions, you could future pace them. So if it's a long form caption, you could get your audience to imagine themselves in the desired situation from where they're at now. So for example, you could say something like, are you struggling to grow your following? Are you struggling to get exposure for your posts, get your message heard in a busy and noisy social media world? What would it look like if when you post, you get people to see and comment on it? What would it feel like when the hours you spend on making content actually gets seen? Click the link in my bio to schedule a free call to see how we can get your profile seen by more people, get more followers, and attract your ideal audience. Don't waste any more time. Click the link in the bio. And then, so that's an example of future pacing for whatever product service you have. Scarcity. You could compare the ideal group with a not ideal group. So, for example, the difference between successful entrepreneurs and unsuccessful ones are this. There's a reason why some content goes viral and others don't. And the more that use these strategies, the more people are going to be like, hey, I'm missing out. I want to know what this guy knows and how he could solve my problem. Another thing is risk aversion. Like we said, again, pain motivates more than pleasure. So call out the pain that your audience is having, and call out the misconception or mistake that your audience believes is doing to get that result. For example, you want to get more clients using social media, grow a targeted following. A common mistake is that they think just by posting they'll grow a following and get targeted leads. But if you keep spending hours on making posting content, you're not just wasting your time, but you're also not getting the exposure that you want for your posts and content. So these are strategies that you can use in your captions on your content so that people see it and they're like, hey, this guy is speaking to me and I want to learn more, and so book a call with me. And that's why you have these call to actions. So there's something called a primary and secondary call to action. So a primary call to action would be, comment below if you agree. If you write something where it's like, is this you? Are you struggling to do X, Y, and Z? Comment below if that's you, or DM me, or double tap if you agree with this. And then the secondary call to action is PS. If you want to learn my step-by-step strategy to getting this result, click the link in my bio to get my free ebook or get my free training. And that's going to incentivize people to click on your bio to check your ebook and to book a call with you, right? And so the primary call to action is for short-term engagement. The secondary one is for long-term lead generation. You don't want to do this every post, but maybe once out of every 5 posts you can do that. So because I don't know if you guys have read Gary Vee's book Jab Jab Right Hook. It's like, keep on giving value to your content, keep on showing people, hey, you're the authority, you know what you're talking about. And then ask for the sale later when people know, okay, this guy knows his stuff, let me book a call with him, right? Because if you don't show people what you know or how you can help them, why would they book a call with you? And so these are some of the strategies I'm going to share in the resource group. There's the hook and the body. And as far as, and this is something that, so this is another thing, it's called the ideal. If you're having trouble, like I said, creating content, think about the pain that you're solving. And this is a resource I'll share with you guys. What's the pain points that they have and what are you solving? What are the stakes and the consequences that your client will have if they do not solve that? And show them the process of how your coaching or what you're offering can solve for them. So whatever it is that you're solving for your client, show them the process, how you're going to take them through that. And if they have objections, whether it's time or money, make sure that you write that down so you can counter that objection if they have that, because you know that you could help them, you know. And this is another worksheet about your vision, but this is so important because if you're not clear on the message and the pain that you're solving, then people are going to be like, well, I don't really need this. This is not a priority, until you put the pain in their mind and paint it clearly for them. Hey, if you don't get my coaching, you're going to be stuck in that mindset, which is not going to serve you. And what's that going to cost you? You know, for example, for Zach, it's like, if you guys are stuck in that mindset as a vet, and you guys are thinking all the time, you know, letting that anxiety kind of cripple you and prevent you from going out, what's the cost of that? What's the cost of you, you know, socially? What's the cost of you, you know, staying home all day and not interacting with people? What's that going to cost you? And when you get them to ask that and think about that, they're gonna be like, wow, that's gonna cost me my life. That's gonna cost me getting a wife. That's gonna cost me, you know, my social life and my youth, you know. And so when you paint that clearly for them, that pain that you're solving, then it's so much easier to get the sale, because you're like, hey, this is like the hole that you're in, and I could bring you out of it through my coaching. And that's why people buy, you know. Especially during something like a pandemic, people aren't just going to buy things because they're bored. They want to buy things that take them out of their pain, which is either how to get, you know, how to make money, how to get clients, and how can you help me solve this pain that I have, whatever that is, you know. And so I'll share these in the resources. And basically, because you guys know your avatar and audience, now it's a matter of creating content that's going to speak to them and speak to their pain point, and be like, okay, this is the pain point that you're solving, and through your content it speaks to me, and that's why I'm booking a call with you, you know what I mean. And so you know, so for the homework is, you know, find examples of people you want to copy and emulate, whether they're a coach, whether it's a business. Study their content and see how you can make content like that using apps like InShot, Fonto, Canva, and practice making content that can attract your ideal avatar and audience. And also practice writing high converting captions to get people to hop on a call with you. And so, you know, people like Penny, I know you have a salon business, but if you want to get into like coaching and start, you know, selling coaching, you could totally do that, because it's, you know, that can be another income stream for you. um so that's, you know, once you have your avatar audience defined, then and your bio is clear on who you serve and help, then it's a matter of creating content to speak to that, you know, avatar, and getting them to book a call with you, right? And so um so yeah, that's pretty much where we're at now. You know, we have the bio down, we have the avatar and audience down. Now it's a matter of creating content that get people to book a call with you, or check out your website and, you know, make sales. And so you know, and if you guys are having trouble finding how to make content, you know, look at people in your space who are crushing it. Look at how they're doing their content and be like, okay, how can I create content like that, and how can I start to attract people to me through my content, right? And so hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And I'll make training videos on like how to use InShot, Bonto, but for now, yeah, that's, let me see, I can also transfer the piece for, yeah. So Connor, yeah, like I said, everything that you're learning here is, these are like principles for sales, and it's just psychology that you're gonna take on for probably the rest of your life. And that this is what you're gonna use to sell, you know. And we're always selling, right? People, I think people have or one of the biggest hurdles for me was sales, because I thought, man, like you know, one, you know, you got to know that when you're selling, your self-worth is directly tied to money. So if you feel like, man, I don't feel comfortable charging that much, is because you don't think you're worth that much, or what you have to offer is worth that much. So you got, that's like a limiting belief you have that you have to overcome, and be like, hey, no, actually this is valuable, and this is worth charging high ticket, you know, for, because I know the pain that I can solve. And you shouldn't just do things for free if you're doing things for free all the time. You know, once you know your value, and once you know how you can help people. And so yeah, and people who see your value will pay you for it, right? And they won't have a problem with that. And so um that's something I want you guys to practice for sure, because you know, sales is not something they teach in school, nor is believing in yourself and all those things. And so um so yeah, I think right now, you know, right now the way that you're going to generate leads and people is, it'll be just even through your own content that you're posting through Instagram, and that's how you can get people to follow you and to um you know, find out more about you, what you have to offer. But they have to know that you're credible, that you're knowledgeable in your space, right? And I know a lot of you guys here um might not have the experience or background yet because you're just starting, but don't, you know, but you have knowledge and things that people know that they're gonna be like, hey, I didn't know that. And so because of that, because you're one step ahead of them, they could pay you for it, because it's like, hey, this person knows more than I do. I should pay to learn this because they have that experience, you know. And um so yeah, do you guys have any questions from that? I'm gonna be uploading those resources, but as far as content goes, do you guys kind of have a clear idea of what content to create? I know um Penny, you're wanting to do like music and stuff, so it's not really a matter of getting clients. It's just like you want maybe people to know about that, but you could post things on your coaching. So that's why, you know, you guys have any questions so far? Because, you know, this second week is going to be about, you know, creating content, you know, studying people that you want to, you know, mimic your page after, and creating content to, you know, reflect that, and then show people this is who you are, this is what you know, this is how you can help them, and they should book a call with you or check out your website, because that's what you do, you know. So do you guys have questions on that?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay,
I got a couple comments.
sure.
I've learned there's two kinds of content. There's like teaching content that you give your paid clients, like you teach them everything. And then there's something called conversion content. And conversion content, you're teaching, but you're also teaching them to want more.
Mhm.
Okay. A lot of people don't want to buy a business coach. It's not like we're born with that desire. So I have to, people don't have a biological need to buy a business coach. So I have to teach them to want. So think of it kind of like, don't give people the movie, give them the movie trailer that gets them excited about paying for the ticket to go to the movie.
Sell the sizzle, not the steak.
Sell the sizzle. Yeah, but sell them. Yeah, you know, like what you want to do is you don't want to give them the whole steak. You want to give them a little taste of the steak. If I give you a little taste of the steak, you're going to go, ooh, that was yummy. I want more. But if I feed you a whole steak for free, you're full and you don't want to buy anything from me because you're full, you're saturated. You go, oh my God, why should I buy this when he just gave me everything I need? You know, so also in your content, you want to give people the why they need to learn this and what are kind of some of the important things, but the how is what they get when they buy your program. You give them the why and the what, but not the how and not the step-by-step.
Yeah, because people are gonna want, you know, always free things, but it's like, hey, like, I value my time, you should value my time, and you know, if you want it, then pay me for this service or whatever.
Yeah, and so one of the ways I do that is I do value my time. I don't expect people to buy from me unless they actually have a conversation with me. So I do the same thing with everybody. You know, the first hour, let me buy you an hour of my time. I have a web page. The headline is let me buy you an hour of my time. And I will buy anybody's first hour for free. After they've had that value, I've given them a ton of value. I mean, I show up as a massive contribution to the clients I serve. And even in that hour, I'm a massive contribution during that hour. And if they want more after that, then, you know, would you like my help? Here's my program. Here's how much it costs. And after I give people a free hour, then I become compassion for hire. If you pay me, I care. If you don't pay, I don't care. Okay. I have very strict boundaries that you get. I'll always give you that free hour, but you don't get, you don't get 6 months of me and just get the chance to pick my brains. You've gotten an hour. Now it's time. Like, if you want to work with me, now or later, let me know. You have some problems. I can help you solve those problems. Would you like my help? And another thing I do is, other than the money, separate the money from the, would you like my help other than the money? They say yes. Then the only other thing that we need to just work out is the money. Okay.
Yeah. So, and you're gonna get objections, and the most common objections you're gonna get is, "Hey, I don't have the money. I don't have time," and if something's really important to someone, they're gonna make time and make money, right? If
They're
you're
going to
dying,
find the money.
if you're dying in the hospital and you're like, okay, it's kind of like that. I mean, obviously, maybe what the problem you solve might not be that severe, but it's basically the point that people will make time and will make the money for something that they see is worth it. And so you got to help people see, hey, like, how much is this worth it to you? Like, how much pain are you in now? And how much, is the value that I'm giving you that is justifying what I'm charging, And so if the pain isn't there, then they're not going to pay. And so
If the pain is large enough, they'll pay any price. I want you to imagine that you're walking down the road, and heaven forbid you get hit by a truck and you're laying in the middle of the road bleeding. Okay. Some 18-year-old kid rolls up in an ambulance with acne. Do you ask him, like, can you give me the lowest price? You don't, do you ask him for a resume? No, you're like, I'm in pain, fix me. And it doesn't matter what price. And so, if the pain is large enough, people will pay any price.
yeah, yeah. And so and you're gonna, yeah. So basically, yeah, that's that. And through your content, like I said, you're constantly speaking to the pain. I mean, not, every post, some posts you're gonna educate people, but basically, your content is gonna be speaking to the people you want to attract, and gain as a potential client. Because if you're just posting, things for fun, like, that's cool, but that's not making you any money. And that's why, I wish someone told me this back then, how to close early on, because it's like, if you're not making money from what you're doing and posting, obviously every post shouldn't be salesy. It should be like you're giving value, you're teaching people, but you also want to make money so you could keep doing what you love, right? If you want to build your own business and you want to make a living doing that, you got to monetize that, instead of just posting a bunch of stuff for years and never getting a sale. And it's just like, what was that for?
How many followers did you get before you started learning how to capitalize on it and make it into an income stream?
Yeah, man. So it's super recent. It's like within the past year. And that's still something I'm learning. And so what I did was I focused so much on just my craft of growing pages and, making deals here and there, and sharing my podcast, instead of, calling out, to my ideal avatar, like, hey, if you're a podcaster looking to grow, or you want to build an audience and get people to listen to your stuff, send me a message, that kind of stuff. I never, sold to my audience, really. And that's why, I get to do that and apply these things too, because that's what's going to help you explode. And so there's a lot of influencers too. They have a large following. They just don't know how to convert them into sales. And it's just, they're just posting and gaining a lot of followers, but not monetizing. And that's something that is funny. It's like, there's people who are good at growing pages and they have a lot of followers, and there's people who are good at selling, they don't have a lot of followers. So it's just kind of interesting to see that. But
there's another idea that's very powerful, and it was very life-changing, business-changing for me in terms of making money. And that is, they say content is king, but actually context is king. So, if I teach something and it's valuable, then you're going to go, ooh, this is valuable. But if I say, look, I got this whole system and I got, 9 key components to helping you build a business that's centered around happiness. And today I'm going to teach you one of the pieces, one of the 9 pieces. I'm going to teach you a piece of that piece that's super valuable. So now I'm teaching that piece and it's super valuable. It's like I have this encyclopedia set of value. That's the context. And I'm pulling out one of the books and I'm opening up one of the chapters and I'm teaching you something like super valuable from that book and that chapter. Okay. So I'm teaching you amazing content, but I'm also letting you know that that content lives in a context. It kind of makes you want the rest of the pieces of the encyclopedia. Okay. So context is king. It's powerful to teach great content, but if you're teaching good content and it's part of a bigger system and people see, that what you're teaching them today is amazing and there's a whole lot more where that came from, it kind of gives them that hunger to want people don't want partial solutions, they want complete solutions. So if you show them, here's like an amazing piece that's useful for you, and it's not even the whole thing, it's just a little piece of a much bigger puzzle, it positions you as a thought leader and a guru.
Yeah, and so yeah, give me questions. Like let me know some questions if you guys have questions on content. If you're like, hey Ray, like I want to create content around this. I don't know how to do that. We could take some real life examples and go through some, because we got some time, 30 minutes. So yeah, whoever wants to share and ask questions and be like, okay, or any things, any mind blocks, any things that are, because one of the biggest things, so you guys all got the U Squared book. We got to read that. Make sure we're gonna read that. I mean, Sophia already read it. Why don't you share, Sophia, or whoever read it, some things you've learned from it real quick, and then we'll get into the questions. Yeah.
What I remember most from that book, which really stood out to me, was it says something like, don't even think, like just get started and fill in everything like along the way. Like as long as you're, getting started, then you're on track. But let me look up some of the things I highlighted first, just because I read it a few days ago.
It's been a long time since I've read it, but the one thing I remember is a quantum leap is a lot easier than a small incremental step.
And how do you make those quantum leaps?
Well, think of electrons around an atom. To go from an inner level to an outer level, it's just a little bump in energy and it takes you to a whole other energy level. Sure. That other radius. And so like here's a weird parallel, but it's easier to go global. It's cheaper and easier to go global than local.
That's true.
What does that mean?
It means if you take an ad out, if you spend $100, if you spend $1,000 in your local newspaper versus spend it $1,000 in the Wall Street Journal, that Wall Street Journal is going to have much more exposure. It's going to have much further reach, and it's going to go all over the planet, versus that local ad is only going to cover a very small area. And so for the same $1,000, it's cheaper and more effective to go global than it is to go local.
Okay. So cool. So, well, I think another thing they talked about in the book U Squared, you guys, that's a great book. And then I have another book that we're going to read, but U Squared is basically, sometimes you got to do things that don't make sense, because if you're just always doing the same thing and the same pattern, you got to have a pattern interrupt and a break. So sometimes doing the things that don't make sense can actually take you to quantum leaps. And Sophia, do you have anything from the book you're like, yeah, this is what I highlighted?
Yeah, so it says so if you have the answers and structure and certainty up front, it's not a quantum leap. The formula does not involve getting everything neatly organized and all the risks eliminated before you make your move. And then the one that really stuck to me was allow some disorder in your life. If you get too concerned with the step-by-step plan of action to be followed, you'll find yourself brooding over the potential problems and roadblocks that could be encountered. A quantum leap, by definition, means moving into uncharted territory with no guide to follow. You personally draw the map as you go.
Yeah, and so this book is really something that's supposed to help you, like, get out of that mindset of like, um man, just thinking small and thinking big. And there's a chapter called Rely on the Unseen Forces. And so basically uh they're saying that when you set your mind to something and you have a vision, and you're telling the universe and your subconscious mind that, hey, this is my vision, this is what I want to create. um there's a video I watched today too. I think Thomas Edison did this too. He said before he goes to sleep, he makes a request of his subconscious mind, because there's two minds. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, right? The conscious mind is a part that is awake and that we're aware of, but the subconscious mind is working 24/7, right? So whatever programming that you've had, since you're a kid, or traumas, those are in your subconscious. So things of like, I'm never good enough, or people will never, buy from me, or I'm always the last, or I'm a loser, or all these things that you've programmed yourself to, or through feedback. You have to dismantle that and get rid of that if it's not serving you. And you got to start, make a request of your subconscious mind. If it's like, hey, my vision is to create this business of social media and helping clients in the luxury niche, make that request from your subconscious mind. Hey, this is what I want. It's almost like you're praying to God, but you're just telling yourself, hey, this is what I want. When you go to sleep, believe it, have faith. And then the more that you do that, the more you're reprogramming yourself to be successful. You know what I mean? Because we're programmed in society, not for success, but for um working for someone else and trading our time for money. And that's not how you're gonna be successful and become rich. You're not gonna be rich trading your time for money. And you're not gonna be rich working for someone else your whole life. And so um these are things that school doesn't teach you. And things, which is why you need to read books like You Squared and Think and Grow Rich, because, or like Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, because those are the things that will reprogram your brain and give you um, a new mindset to see what's possible. And so yeah, these unseen forces, he's saying, they're going to help you in your subconscious, in your intuition, if you vividly paint for yourself like what you want in your life. Um and these unseen forces will rally to your support, whether you call them angels or whatever, angels or demons or whatever it is. I don't. So this is a tangent. Like, there's some people who do like DMT, ayahuasca, and say they see this entity when they do it, and they see this entity that's like supporting them and for them. And I don't know if that's one of those unseen forces, but it's like, um this world is more spiritual than physical, right? And if you think about uh just how this world was made, we're only here for 80 years and we're gone, right? There's spirits that have been here on this earth way longer than we have, and we're just like a channel for that, for whatever channel we want to be a channel for. And so you got to think, what do you want to be a channel for? What kind of vision do you have for yourself, for your life, and for your family, that you want to be a channel for? And yeah. So yeah. I know Connor said he wants to create heaven on earth. If that's your vision, then like, what are you tapping into your subconscious to be creating that? And based on your actions and what you want, if there's like a dissonance, and it's like, I told him earlier, if you're spending 9 hours and a half a day working in your warehouse job, but you're not even spending 3 hours on your side hustle to build your company, then you might say that you want it, but your subconscious knows that you're just bluffing and you're not serious, because your actions speak louder than your words, right? And so if you're telling yourself, hey, and that's why some people, they live their whole life thinking, wanting this dream and vision, but they never achieve it, because you know they're kind of telling themselves, hey, you said this but you didn't do it, so how can I trust you? And you break trust with yourself. If you keep breaking your word and your trust with yourself, um and you keep not showing up for yourself, then you're telling your subconscious, hey, I'm not worth showing up for. And that's why I honor and thank every one of you for showing up. Even though this is our second call, some people, you're gonna, during these 90 days, you're gonna have times, I don't feel like showing up, like it's too hard. But you got to remember, you made this commitment to yourself to be in this program so that you could be free, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, mentally. You made this commitment to you. So I want you guys to remember that you're not just committing to me, you're committing to yourself, right? And I want you guys to remember that, because there's a reason why you paid, for this, because there's something that you want to achieve, and you're willing to make the sacrifices, and that's why you guys are here. And um so uh so yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to share. This is just the second week, and I know it's not going to be an easy ride, especially if you're putting in work. But that's why we have accountability. That's why we have one another to help each other through this, because we all have a vision and something we want to create, and we're all here together to help each other out. And it's a lot harder to do it on your own when you don't have that support group and those people who are ahead of you, or can kind of support you with what you need support with. And so yeah, we're all here to support one another. So any questions you guys have, any things that you're like, hey, I'm struggling with this, don't be embarrassed, because we're all, we all start from zero. I started from zero, and some of us are starting from zero. And it's a safe place to just be real and vulnerable and be like, hey, this is coming up for me, and I feel like I can't do it because of this. Like it's cool. And so yeah, so from there, um any questions from there? uh what
Yes,
is
sir.
DMT? DMT is a hallucinogen, and it's kind of like shrooms, but it's a lot stronger than shrooms. It kind of, some people say that it makes them feel like they've had a rebirth experience. They feel like they died and went to heaven and kind of had a second chance. Some of them have stopped very destructive habits such as smoking or stuff like that. It's like,
It's life changing.
yeah, maybe Zach can speak into it. Maybe you've done it. I haven't done it personally, but I just know, I just, it fascinates me. So if you want to speak into that, feel free to do that.
It is like going to the most. So I've done it twice. The second time was not what I was a little weird, but the first time we didn't do enough because I'm still trying to like dose and learn how to use this pipe that I have. But it basically, like, you lay down, close your eyes, and it transported us to this, like, I didn't go in, but I was like standing outside the window looking in, and it was the most magical, welcoming, like, it felt like coming home for your soul. Like my soul was like, this is where, this is where we all came from. This is where we go in the end. Like, that is what it felt like. So I'm going to do it again with my same friend and go like all the way in and see whatever's in there. But it's
What do you mean
magical.
by all the way in and not all the way in?
So imagine there's like a portal to another dimension.
Pretty easy.
And that, like, I'm gonna use religious terminology. I don't think this is necessarily religious. I just don't know what other words to use. So for all intents and purposes, this place is like a heaven or a realm where like gods and entities live. And there is a window into it. And the DMT takes you. We didn't do enough, so we didn't go through the window, but we got right up. I was looking through the window.
Okay.
I know I sound crazy. I know how I sound.
So no, this is here. I want to share with you guys this. I posted this on my Instagram. I'm gonna share with you guys in the chat. But this is kind of like, you could let me know if that's what it felt like. And you could let me know if that's so it's kind of like, it's like you move out of your body, and then it's like you're looking at yourself from a third person's perspective, and it's like, hey, this is, you the sense of it's like, some people call it ego death, and they're like, hey, your ego is what you attach yourself to your whole life. You're like, hey, what's my, my net worth, my all these titles that you give yourself, like, I'm Asian, I have this much net worth, I have this X, Y, and Z, and all that is stripped of you, and you just see yourself as like, just for who you are, not as a female, not as a male, not as a ethnicity. It's
Wait,
just
I'm kind of confused. What are we talking about?
DMT, your your ego. It's a
Psychedelic medicine.
Yeah, let's watch this video because it's gonna be it'll kind of give you an idea.
Hello? Hello? What's going on? Where am I? I think you're dead. What do you mean? Like you died, as
No,
in
no,
no
yeah.
longer alive? I was literally just driving home from work. Everything was fine. Yeah, and then you died. Car accident, I think. But I don't remember anything. Yeah, I think that's typically how death works. Is this like a prank or something? Or a dream, maybe? That'd be kind of a weird prank to knock you unconscious and then wake you up in some weird empty white room with no doors or windows, don't you think? I guess it's sort of like a dream, though. But no, you're definitely just dead. Wait, so who are you? Are you God? I wish, but no. I'm you, kind of. I'm at least who you thought you were. You know, the voice you had in your head since you were a little kid when you started to understand language and all that? That's me. Or you. Or technically just your brain. Or really just the part of your brain you attached you to so you could have a sense of self. Either way, it's all just semantics. You probably just don't recognize me on account of, being dead. And all the chemicals in your brain are being flushed out, and I'm sure that's making things kind of confusing. But I'm still here, at least for a tiny bit longer. And then what? Good question. Okay, and? I have no idea. I'm you, remember? What you know, I know, and vice versa. All I know is I'm here for right now, and based on what I've heard about dying, you're about to see your whole life pass as it gets drained out of you. You're going to see it for what it really was, objectively. Free from the pressures of actually being there. Free from your ego. Free from me. It's going to be intense. Okay, when is this going to happen? Now, anxiety, because you thought they loved you and broke up with Sarah because life got in the way. Even though you love Sarah, you drank too much. Being sad about those moments where you try to get her back. You took too long, so she moved on. You worked really hard, but gave up a third of your life for a company and boss who made you feel insecure all the time. Never really said how you felt, stood up for yourself. You rested no man. You were so scared that you wouldn't have a sale and write a book. You never did. Okay, it's over now. Makes so much sense. I get it. I know exactly where I went wrong and what to do differently now. I'm going to take time to reconnect with friends and not let new friendships fizzle out just because of laziness. I'm going to be nicer and more understanding instead of being so impatient and reserved. I'm going to be more attentive and caring to my wife and not always need to be right when we argue, but actually care about resolving the issue. I'm going to forgive my parents and ask them to forgive me. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to spend time towards myself. I'm going to be healthier, eat better, exercise, feel good, and not procrastinate on things I want to see and experience. I'm going to take chances on the things that matter to me. I'm going to actually be myself and like myself instead of always hiding it and feeling bad about it. I'm going to laugh more and worry less. I'm not going to let little things ruin entire days anymore. I'm going to enjoy life for what it is and not be so serious and worried and sad and anxious all the time for no good reason. I'm going to... Whoa. No, you won't. You won't do any of that. You're dead, remember? That was it. Hello.
So that's kind of what people say, like DMT gives you like an experience of death. And so you're kind of like, how am I living my life? Are the choices that I'm making really benefiting me and stuff like that? So Joe Rogan talks about this a lot. But but yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm not endorsing, I'm just saying, like that video alone kind of gives you a taste of like, how am I living my life? Is this really, are the actions that I'm doing really benefiting me and going towards my vision of who I want to be and stuff. So anyways, yeah, you guys can, and I think, I share that because you guys are here because there's a vision that you want to achieve. And a lot of you guys have, fear or things that have stopped you from doing that, whether it's from, whatever that is, those blocks. And that's what we're here in this coaching to overcome, whether it's with sales, whether it's with content, whether it's with building your agency, whatever those fears and limiting beliefs and obstacles are. That's what we're here to, dismantle and break so that you could achieve the vision that you want for yourself and that business. And um, so yeah, you guys have, questions as far as like content you want to create and things like that to get started with your Instagram and attracting the right people. You guys,
So I have a question. So I am still a little bit stuck on like, okay, I know I kind of shared with you, Ray, a little bit already about posts. I'm still a little stuck with hashtags and posting. I know like I kind of shared with you a little bit about my vision and like what kind of things I want to post. But I'm having a really hard time with like the flow of my posts and also with hashtags and everything, I don't necessarily feel like I've really gained following, or I don't have anything for sale right now. I'm still, I've been kind of talking to Joe a little bit about the sales part, but I'm just stuck. Honestly, I really don't know how to really attract an audience or a following, because most of the people that follow me are clients, people that I already know, or people that follow me for hair or looking to get a service done.
Okay, so what was the vision that you had for your Instagram? What you wanted for
So
that?
the vision that I had really is, I want to be able to make an impact on just the masses, and maybe teaching more thought process, mindset, giving life principles. A lot of the quotes and things that I post are more like life principles. But the vision that I have really is just to have an inspirational Instagram.
Okay.
But then I was talking to Joe about I definitely would like to. I think I thought about my sale, and for my sale, I would actually like to be able to offer coaching, life coaching.
Sure. Sure. So
I just don't know how I'm gonna go about attracting people, because I've been watching my following, and it's weird because within the past week I've lost 6 followers. I mean, I'm sure people just kind of do that, they'll follow and then unfollow. But how do I don't know how to get them to be engaged so that they would have an interest to stick around.
So your question is, how do I create content that would make them interested in you?
Right, or just have them be engaged so that they will want to stay.
Penny, I think one of the things that comes up for me is you said you wanted to have content that impacts the masses. And the problem with that is you're trying to be all things, you're trying to impact everybody. And that's really not your avatar. It's not, everybody, the masses is not your avatar. So if you want to create a following or a tribe, there's a great book by Seth Godin called Tribes. He says, there is no tribe without a leader. There is no leader without a tribe. And the highest paid person is the tribal leader. But people don't follow you, Penny. They don't follow a person. They don't follow me. They follow a cause. And so one of the things you want to look, so who is your tribe and what do you stand for? And if you stand for something, then you will, what you stand for will attract your tribe. So I am a stand for self-reliance through entrepreneurship. I think, we've created an employer along, so I'm a stand for, stop working for the man, be the man. Unless you're a woman, stop working for the boss, be the boss. So I'm a stand for something. I'm a stand for if you can make 50 grand a year as an employer, you can make 50 grand a year working in your own business. I'm a stand for you to take charge of your life and be a little more autonomous and call your shots instead. So I stand for something. And so, what you want to do is figure out what you stand for.
Right. And that totally makes sense, which kind of, leads me to my next question is, when you look at my Instagram, I do kind of feel like it's all over the place. Should I just focus on the one thing? Should I?
When I look at your Instagram, I see hair.
Hair.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, when I look at your Instagram, I see hair and more hair and a lot of hair. And so I don't think that's, it's good for you to show demos of your work, but it's not going to get you life coaching, or it's not going to get you coaching clients. You need to really, okay, it's good to have some of that in here. And I do 2 things, by day, or, I'm a hairstylist, but, as a side business, it's very important to me. I'm helping empower women, take charge of their life, or whatever it is that you stand for. Who is your crowd? Tighten it up. This idea of I want to influence the masses, it's like you're speaking to everyone. So in a way you're speaking to no one. And Ray could probably talk into that about everybody isn't your avatar.
Right.
Um, so, okay, ideally, the person you want to coach is someone that you used to be, 5 years ago or something like that, right? And so, just think about
Maybe
that.
not.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's not, yourself, but it's
And
someone.
that's the great question: is who do you want to work with? Who do you love work? And there's three things when you're like choosing your avatar. Who do you like working with? Who can you get a good result, and can they pay you? Like you don't want to coach people that you can't help, and you don't want to coach people that you don't like working with, and you don't want to coach people that can't pay you. You need all three. So, who is your tribe that you love? It's like, I love helping people start a business, and watching it succeed. I hate seeing people on a soul sucking job, and I hate seeing people fail in business. That's why I created, employee escape plan. So this is a great formula to define like what you stand for. Is I love this and I hate
Right. That makes
this.
total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That
so,
totally makes sense.
so who do you want to work with? And then once and you profile them, then you can speak into their listening. Now you know who you're talking to, and you can speak to your tribe, and because you stand for what the tribe you stand for is the tribe you're attracting. And because you're speaking into their conversation and what's important to them, they will flock to you because you're speaking their language.
Right. That makes sense. No, I really appreciate that feedback.
So does that kind of give you clarity on what to post a little bit?
Yeah, it does. It does, because I mentioned before, I really do want to impact people in a way where it's beauty related still, but targeting towards women. And I guess when I say the masses, I guess I want it still to be relatable to a lot of people, but I guess I need to rethink that. That's kind of something I need to work on.
Yeah, I mean, I catch, my NLP training has got me like really noticing little things like that. I want to impact the masses. It's like, whoa, she doesn't have an avatar.
Yeah, like specific.
Instantly, red flags, boom, she doesn't have an avatar.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's hard. It's one of the hardest parts, which is why
No, I don't think it's hard. It's I've done this hundreds, thousands of times, so it's actually easy for me. I eat problems like this for breakfast. Okay.
What
So
about dinner?
so yeah, Penny, what would do you kind of know? Are you like you don't know what content to post to attract people for life coaching? Do you have videos you could speak? Like I said, like, it's the pain that you could speak into people's lives about and be like, hey, schedule a call with me to learn
There
more.
definitely is a message. I think I shared with you a little bit. There definitely is a message, because the message is your life experience, right? The message is what you overcome, what you learn. I'm just trying to figure out how to put that into my post, because I mean a lot of my stuff is hair related, but sometimes every now and then I'll throw in things that is inspiring for women. But I guess I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out.
Penny, what are you what domain are you the master of? So don't just think in terms of like, okay, your story has some, some value to it, which of course is true, but like what, you're not an expert at everything, but there's certain areas that you dominate in. Like, what problems are you really, really, really good at solving, and then and so what problems do you solve? So I work with these kind of.
Yeah,
so
like
you
the
want to.
biggest thing that I've helped a lot of people overcome is their self-image. Like that's something that I feel like I personally have accomplished doing.
That's not a problem though. So
Right.
I work with women who are not advancing because their self-image doesn't support it. That's a problem.
Right. Okay.
I work with women whose image does not support their growth. And so it's like, I work with this kind of women and they have this problem. You don't give them the solution yet, but it's like, okay, I have that problem. So like, tell me more.
Mhm.
And I'm speaking as a woman now. Sorry.
Hey, yeah, when we die,
Girlfriend,
yeah.
let's braid each other's hair.
You're gonna need to grow more hair, Joe.
I'll do your nails if you do mine.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Penny is just you have fun with it. Yeah, I love the one with you and your kids, you know, like stuff like that. But so there's a lot you want to do. I think it's just getting clear on the vision of who you want to serve, like Joe said. Like who do you want to serve? Who do you want to help? And through your coaching that I mean, I know you want to be you want to do music too and so there's a lot. So that's why, you know, your Instagram can be a lot. It doesn't have to be just you know, just hair all the time. It could be your singing, it can be both, you know, and you're using highlights, which is cool. But think about who you want to serve and
Think of two cliffs. Okay. One cliff is the problem and the other cliff is the promise. Okay. People only spend money if there's a gap. I'm in a certain spot and I'm frustrated here and I don't want to stay here and I want to go to the promise. I want to go to this other place. I want to go to this other place, but I'm stuck here. Okay. And you need to have both sides in order to create the currency that's going to create cash flow. Okay. Currency meaning, you know, I'm going to do this for you and you're going to pay me money. So what is it I'm going to do for you? I'm going to move you from a problem to a promise. I'm going to move you from disempowered to empowered. I'm going to move you from employee to entrepreneur. You know, in the haircutting industry, there's a transformation. You know, haircutting is transformation. I move you from messy to dressy. That, you know, I transform you from messy to dressy. That's a transformation. And so people come in, their hair's messed up. They come out, their hair is clean and they look beautiful. So just like you create that transformation when you cut people's hair, what's the transformation? What's the problem they come with and how are they better off on the other side? Now you've got a little basis for money to exchange.
Right. Okay.
Does that give you kind of clarity on your content you want to create?
Yes, it does. I would just have to put more thought into it.
No, now your work's cut out for you. You got a lot of work now because now it's like, okay, who are these people? What are their problems? What are their frustrations? What you need to profile, you need to do an empathy map of who your ideal client is and really get to know their emotions, their emotional triggers, like what keeps them up at night? What are, you know, what is it that's like got them frustrated and angry and pissed off and like, you know, we want in life, we want to go from point A to point Z, but you know, sometimes we go to point A and we go to point B and then at point C, we get stuck. Okay. And so think of it like this, like people, they go from one level to the next level and then they get stuck at a level and they want to go to the next level beyond, but they're stuck here. And so what you want to think about is if somebody is stuck at a level and they can't get to the next level on their own, and you come along and you show them how to get unstuck and get to the next level and maybe the next level or two beyond that, you become the most valuable person in their life.
Okay. Because you're helping them move forward with what they want to do, right?
If they're stuck, but they want to progress, but they can't progress, but you've got the knowledge, you've got the wisdom, you got the tools, you got the techniques to get them unstuck and flowing at a higher level, you're freaking valuable. Otherwise, you can stay at your level or you can pay me and I'll get you to the next level. I'll break you out of this barrier. That's valuable.
Yeah. And you guys have to understand, you know, this is something that, you know, money is just a form of value. It's a value exchange, right? You know, back then they use gold, but now it's just like if you're giving value to someone and you're helping them, you could charge for that because it's like, hey, yeah, my coaching helped you get unstuck from this to this. You could charge for that because that's, you know, it's valuable, you know. And so, you know,
Right.
whatever skills you have that can help people get unstuck, like Joe said, you can monetize that through coaching or through there's something else that, that can get people to be like, okay, I could, charge for this because I'm helping people, with X, Y, and Z, you know?
Penny, I did have an idea just now for some content that you could probably do, especially since you're dealing with like both like hair and empowerment for women. I would definitely suggest maybe doing a lot more videos for Instagram, since video content does get more views and engagement. You could always do something where like with obviously with the permission of the woman, like get kind of like video testimonials, like the women are coming in and they like, you see their hair and then you kind of ask them like, with this new hair that I'm going to give you, like, how do you think that's going to affect you in your personal life, like with confidence and stuff like that?
Yeah, that sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah. So, and like, especially like on TikTok, like hair is so popular. So people always have like the videos of them going in and then what their hair looks like after, but you could just add so much to that that would get people engaged, as well as combining women who are struggling with, like abusive relationships. And, in those, they're like, they get mistreated and told like, you're ugly, you're not worth it. And with both, your haircut and your empowerment, you can combine those two, where like the new haircut is like a symbol of like the new them. And they'll be more confident in order to, like push out of those bad relationships and get the happiness that they really want.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Something to think about, Penny, is like, what is your macro niche? There's about 20 macro niches. So, are you in the relationship realm? Are you in the career realm? Are you in the personal development realm? Or are you in the leadership realm? And then it becomes really easy. I'm in the entrepreneurship realm. I mean, part of what I do touches the spiritual realm, and part of what I do touches the career realm, but it's not really careers. But so you just need to know, like, I work with people in this major area. And once you identify, like, this is my major area, then it becomes very easy for people to understand, oh, she's in the relationship realm, or she's in the self-esteem realm, the confidence realm. That makes sense?
That makes sense. That sounds good.
Okay.
You want to like say, I live inside of this category. I mean, I live in the entrepreneurship realm. A lot of times, I remember, I had a new client, and like we got on the phone, and his girlfriend was like yelling and screaming and just being a monster in the background. And I'm like, I ended up giving him coaching around his relationship. It's like, but how can you be in a business when you're in an unsupportive environment with unsupportive people? So like, you're here, I'm here to help you with your business. And I'm telling you, like, it's going to be very difficult for you to succeed in business when you got chaos in your environment.
That is very true.
But he didn't hire me for that.
Yeah.
He hired me because I'm a badass business coach. Okay. So we just need to know, this is my, I'm a world's best business problem solver. You create your category, like, this is who I am. I transform employees into entrepreneurs. I help you go from confusion to cash in a dash. Okay. You need to be able to articulate, this is the realm I play in. And this is, I'm good at a lot of things, but I don't do my own brain surgery. So I don't pretend to. And so this is the importance of niching, is not only letting people know what you do, but what you don't do.
Does that make sense? Is that helping?
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, then hopefully that should help, in terms of like what content you want to create, if you want to do live coaching as well. And yeah, I mean, so you got, like you have the avatar of people we want to help, and then you got to create content around that. And then from there, it's going to get people to, draw them to you so that you could start selling your services or products. And I think Connor said, like, do I know anything with marketing pre-orders? not so much, but you could put something up on your Instagram where the bio link is like a pre-order thing, and you're posting, each post is like, hey, click the link in my bio for to pre-order my you know my content. What was your Lego Instagram called, Connor?
Brick and Builder. Spelt as it sounds.
You know, a great master of pre-orders is Elon Musk selling the Cybertrucks.
I do know that, but he delivers late, and I don't like that.
Delivers
But you got a good point. He's had a history of stating a launch date and then having to push it off by 1 to 3 years.
Well, next time you start your own car company, we'll get you to be the one that keeps all the promises.
Yeah,
You know,
it could
people
be.
say, you know, it cracks me up. I use Elon Musk as an example all the time. People say, I don't have much time. You know, what big things are you up to? If I asked that to a normal person, they wouldn't say much. But if I asked that to Elon Musk, it'd be like the most interesting conversation, you know, and it blows me away when people say they don't have time. Look at Elon Musk. I mean, he started PayPal, he started Tesla, he's sending rocket ships to Mars. You know, you get the same 24 hours a day as Elon Musk. So what the hell's your lame excuse? Like
He's on Adderall,
here's
bro.
a man that's doing massive, amazing things, you know, and you don't have time to like show up to a meeting on time or whatever, you know. I just, it blows me away. You get the same 24 hours as Oprah Winfrey.
True.
You know, so I'm a little bit on a divergent track here, but I think he's a great example of human potential.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the amazing shit one human being is like organized and orchestrated. It's fucking mind blowing. Pardon my language.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, so I think for you, Connor, it's like if it's like a pre-built, maybe you could on your website have something where they fill out a form and it's like, hey, you know, and you start posting your late. You could do videos. You should do videos of these and stuff like that. That would be cool. And then be like, hey, um get your product, you know, have something on here where they could, you know, sign up and just, you know, for a pre-order or something like that. And
Yep.
that'd be a great way to do something, or like a landing page, right? If you need help with that, you know, let me know.
I'm taking orders now, available for Christmas, available January.
Yeah.
You know, just let them know, like, here's what I'm, you know, here's what's coming out. And if you order now, you'll get it in time for Christmas delivery. I mean, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. You're getting good you know, whatnot, good engagement, and you know, captions, you're pretty specific, double worded hashtags. That's good. And yeah, man, people.
And you want to do a campaign. It's not one post. It's like, you know, I'm really excited about this new product that's launching. I'm not going to tell you about it, but next Friday, I'm going to make the big worldwide announcement. And then, you know, so today is, you know, Wednesday. So Thursday, it's like Friday morning or Friday at noon, I'm making my big announcement, you know, new product that's coming out. And then, you know, Friday, you make the big announcement. Hey, you know, it's time for the big announcement. You make it. It's like, and these will be available, you know, shipping, you know, December, you know, 19th. You know, and if you want to get your order in early, go to this page and place your order now. You can make your pre-order. And as soon as they get, you know, shipping out the door, you'll be on the top of the waiting list.
Cool. Does that make sense? Is that a little clear? Clarity?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you know, basically I'll share this recording as well. But you know, it's just a matter of posting content where people know what you have to offer, and then from there people can buy from you and see what you have, you know, whatever pain you're solving, they'll be like, okay. For Connor, it's just more like, you know, Lego toys, but it's maybe you could position, are you bored for Christmas, or are you looking for a Christmas gift or something? You know, just find creative ways. So does that help you guys? Does that give you ideas? You guys have any questions on, like, I'm still unclear on this or things like that? Or do you guys kind of know what to do for this week?
I got the gist of what to do.
Sophia and
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna look up the influencers you were talking about and compare their content and kind of like group that together, see what I come up with.
Okay. Yeah, and then like a pricing sheet of like how much they're charging, how much you could charge. Are you doing this yourself? Are you fulfilling it yourself, or you have like a team that does it?
So for now, I mean, I honestly haven't started anything. So like I have all this knowledge I got from the Ty Lopez course, and then plus like what I'm learning here, and then what I'm also like researching. But
Yeah.
I haven't done anything yet, just because I really want to have my pricing and packaging down, but I just don't have that yet. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
outsourcing for Facebook, but I mainly want to do Instagram, and then outsource for everything else.
Okay. Then you could compare pricing and see what to do for that, you know? And
Well, I went to different websites and I was trying to compare the pricing, but they
you should
weren't
have
really.
Vendasta, the one I sent you, Vendasta.com. They're a white label agency. You could white label their services, you know.
Oh yeah, I did go to that one that you recommended.
So
Was that the one in Canada? Because I think that's the one I signed up for.
yeah, maybe. I'm not is it is Canada one?
What's a white label agency?
So white label is basically you're an agency, but you kind of they have a wholesale price, but you kind of sell it for your own. You just add on top of it. So for example,
Oh, okay, I
yeah.
get you.
So
You don't need to go any further. I understand now.
the only end-to-end commerce platform for selling digital solutions to local business. So you could sell, any digital solution to local business, whether it's a website, SEO, voice, all these things. You could just sell it, and they'll fulfill it for you, and that you have a team that does it. So I recently signed on with them. I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, anything that you need that an agency does for local businesses, you could do it yourself through Vendasta. So I thought that's a cool way to just make money where you don't fulfill it. But it's an agency where you could, sell services like that,
Yeah, so I did sign up for Vendasta.
You did? Which plan?
I think I don't even think well, no, I just signed up for it. I don't think I started anything with it.
Okay, yeah. Well, you could use that, and you could, like there should be someone who can onboard you. So email them, because there should be someone who onboards you onto the program.
Yeah.
And then they'll explain to you this is how it works, Sophia, and they'll help you make your website, whatever, things like that. So
Yeah, so I'll look more
Okay,
into that.
guys. Good night.
okay, yeah. See you, Connor. And Penny, any questions for you, Penny? Like, you kind of have any questions?
No, I don't really have any questions right now. I just gotta work on my stuff.
What's the main obstacle for you? That's like this is is there anything like that, or are you kind of clear what to do?
I am kind of clear. I just, the insight that you guys gave me was really good. So I think I gotta sit down and have a blueprint or a plan for rebranding and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, just whoever you want to be known for, right, and who you want to serve, and creating content around that, then that could help you get leads organically.
Yeah.
And then scheduling a call with you through Calendly or something, that should help. And yeah, and I uploaded some resources to do in the homework section, so that should help. And yeah, yeah. Any other, oh man, forgot to keep accountability. Okay, you and Sophia and Penny, can you guys keep each other accountable this week? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and then the other two, I'll have them keep each other accountable. So, yeah, just check up on each other. But hey Sophia, how are you doing with your agency stuff? And you can ask Penny, hey, how's your content ideas? You already gave good ideas, So just help each other out. And
What's her Instagram again?
Peaceful Fresh.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Sorry, what was it?
I can type it in.
Okay. Peaceful.
Fresh. Peaceful Fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and any questions, just upload in the group. Would it serve you guys to do another session on Fridays or no? Or Mondays are good, right? Doing Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then just apply that, and read the book You Squared, Penny. And
Yep.
And yeah, let's keep working on. Obviously, you know, all these obstacles and doubts that come up, like talk about it with the Sophia and stuff like that, and together. And if you guys need support, just message me. And yeah, I'm here for you guys. So
Sweet. Thank
cool.
you.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, great call, and I'll see you guys on Monday.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good night, guys.